moved into the apartment on a rainy evening. It was cheap, too cheap for the area, but I didn't ask questions. I needed a place fast, and this one was available. The landlord barely looked at me when I signed the papers. He just said, "Don't make noise at night." I thought it was a strange thing to say, but I didn't think much about it. The first night was quiet, peaceful even. No sounds, no problems. I slept better than I had in weeks. The second night was different. I woke up suddenly. My eyes opened without warning, like something had pulled me out of sleep. I looked at my phone. 2:13 a.m. The room was completely dark, and then I heard it, a soft sound, very faint, scratching. I stayed still, listening. It came again, slow, dragging, like something moving inside the walls. I sat up, my heart beating faster now. I told myself it was nothing. Old buildings make noise, pipes, wood, maybe even mice. I lay back down, trying to ignore it. Eventually, I fell asleep again. The next day, everything felt normal. I went to work, came back late, nothing unusual, until night came again. 2:13 a.m. I woke up. This time I already knew. The sound came back, louder now, clearer. It wasn't random anymore. It had a rhythm like footsteps, slow, heavy, moving along the wall right beside my bed. I turned my head slowly, staring at the wall. The sound stopped. Silence filled the room again. I held my breath, waiting. Nothing. After a few minutes, I laughed nervously. Just the building, I whispered to myself, but deep down, something felt wrong. The next morning, I checked the wall. I knocked on it. Solid. No hollow sound. No cracks. No holes. Nothing that explained what I heard. I tried to forget it, but that night, I didn't sleep easily. I kept waking up, checking the time, waiting, and then it happened again. 2:13 a.m. The sound. This time it wasn't just the wall, it moved from the wall to the ceiling, then across the room, like something crawling above me. I sat up quickly, my hands were shaking. I turned on my phone flashlight. The light cut through the darkness. The room was empty, but the feeling was not. It felt like I wasn't alone anymore. The next day, something else happened. I came home late, tired, hungry. I walked into the kitchen and stopped. One of the drawers was open, just slightly. I was sure I had closed it. I walked closer. Slowly, I pushed it shut. Then I opened the fridge. Something was missing. A small container of food. I stood there, thinking. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I ate it. But I knew I didn't. That night, I decided not to sleep. I turned off all the lights, sat on my bed, and waited. Hours passed, nothing. Then, 2:13 a.m., the sound returned. Louder than ever, closer than ever. I didn't move, I didn't breathe, I just listened. The scratching, the movement, right behind the wall. Then something changed, a soft click. I stared at the wall and I saw it. A small section of the panel moved just a little, like it was being pushed from the inside. My body went cold. I couldn't move. I couldn't look away. Slowly, very slowly, the panel opened. A dark gap appeared, and then a hand, thin, dirty, fingers gripping the edge, pulling. A man crawled out, slow, careful, like he had done it many times before. He stood up and looked at me. His eyes were wide, unblinking. He didn't speak, he didn't move, he just watched. Like I was the strange one, not him, not the man who came out of the wall. My heart was pounding so loud I thought he could hear it. We stayed like that, staring at each other for what felt like forever. Then he smiled, a slow, unnatural smile, and whispered something so quietly I almost didn't hear it. "You weren't supposed to notice." I grabbed my phone and ran. I didn't stop, not until I was outside, breathing cold air, shaking. The police came later. They searched the apartment, and then they found it. Hidden crawl spaces inside the walls, old maintenance tunnels left behind during construction, connected to multiple units. The man had been living there for weeks, maybe months, moving between the walls, watching, listening, waiting. They said he survived on whatever he could find: food, water, even things from other apartments. No one noticed until I did. I never went back. I left everything behind: clothes, furniture, everything. But sometimes, when I wake up at night, I check the time, and when it's 2:13 a.m., I stop breathing because I still feel it. That same feeling, like something is close, watching, waiting, from a place I can't see.
But the story didn't end there. A week later, I got a call. It was the police. They asked me to come back, just for a few questions. I didn't want to go, but something inside me said I had to. When I arrived, the building looked the same, quiet and normal, like nothing had ever happened. But I knew better. Inside, the officers were waiting. One of them looked at me and said, "We found something else." My stomach dropped. He showed me photos, pictures from inside the walls. Narrow tunnels, dark spaces, but that wasn't the worst part. There were markings on the walls, scratches, lines, like someone had been counting days, weeks, months. Then he showed me another photo, and I froze. It was my room, from inside the wall, a small hole, barely visible, facing my bed. I felt sick. "He could see you," the officer said, "every night." I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. Then I asked the question I didn't want answered. How long was he there? The officer paused, then said quietly, "We're not sure, but we think longer than you." That didn't make sense. I moved in just 2 weeks ago. How could he be there before me? Unless he had been there, watching others too, before me. After that day, I tried to forget everything. I moved to a different place, different neighborhood, different life. But something felt wrong. Every night, I checked the walls, the doors, the windows, everything, nothing, for days, and nothing happened. Until one night, I woke up again. Suddenly, my eyes opened, my heart racing. I looked at the clock, 2:13 a.m. My body went cold. "No," I whispered. "This isn't possible." I sat up slowly, listening. Silence. Then I heard it, a soft sound, scratching, very faint, coming from the wall. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't move. It was happening again. But this wasn't the same apartment. This wasn't the same place. So how was it here? The sound stopped, and then I heard something worse, a whisper, very close, right next to me. "You moved." A pause, then, "So did I."